Hey guys, welcome to the channel. You are here with me, Soyini of Arts and Plenty LLC. And so we're gonna be working, or you're gonna watch me work realistically on an order that recently came in for me. So I don't know about you, but if you're a crafter, you better set your mood, okay? For me, it's turning on my candles, it's listening to a podcast, it's listening to music, it's listening to vibrations, it's whatever I feel like doing that keeps me calm as I work and enjoy what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. So set your mood, okay? So I'm starting off with, I cleaned off my molds. Usually I pre-wash ahead of time, which that is exactly what happened. These are pre-washed, air-dried molds, and I like to still take some tape afterwards and go around it to get any dust or debris that may get onto it after the air drying process is over. So I did that, and I took my heating mat, which best thing I ever bought since I started doing resin. I am in the cold weather most of the year, and it really does some justice to what I'm doing. So I love it. I will link it down below. Right now, I am adding some foils to a little cup, and I'm not adding too much foil because the design doesn't call for it. I will post a picture here somewhere showing you the design, but it's just basically a replica of something I've already created. So this person just wanted to order one as a gift. The way that I create these as a set. So I am making a pen, a bookmark, and a full book. So that is what's happening. So right now I decided I am going to thoroughly mix in some pigment with my resin. Just in a small amount of resin. Mix up the pigment for a good amount of time. Then I am adding the rest of the pigment into a larger cup of resin. That way it just gets a better mixing going. I find that when I mix most of my resin in a cup, sometimes it'll have like little bits of powder and you don't see it until after the product is cured, and then you turn it around and it's just like you just see little blobs of unmixed powder in there. So these are mica powders. So it's interchangeable. I use pigment, I use powder. I call them the same thing. Whatever I'm referring to understand it's mica powder. This color, by the way, is like my absolute favorite. It comes with the colors that I do have right now. I have two greens, and this is my favorite of the two. The other one is kind of like, it's like a lighter green, and this one is like ivy green. It is just so pretty, so pretty. And yeah, so I'm working on a design. I try to match the pen and the bookmarks and the whole thing all together really nice. I really try to do my best with that. So right now I am just putting everything on. And so when I get to the book, I like to do the pen, fill the pen and the bookmark first. And when I get to the book, that's when I realize I ain't mix enough, because I just didn't. The way I mix, I've been doing resin for a while now, right? So the way I mix my resin, like when you cooking and they be like, you cook, but you don't use your seasonings. You don't measure your seasonings. That's me when I'm doing resin. The only measuring I really do is to make sure my 1-to-1 is on point, and you want to make sure that it's always on point. But as far as trying to figure out how many ounces I'm gonna use, I've been doing resin long enough to know what is the right amount and what isn't. And it's just like, you probably sitting there like, girl, so why you ain't have enough? It's because when I make my book sets, they vary very differently. So I can do that. You probably shouldn't do that, but I can do that, okay? I got leeway with this. You wanna know why? Because I've been doing this for a long while, and I know how to save it. So if you don't know how to save it, make sure you measure first. And I will do a video on measuring resin, how to measure to make sure that you're mixing the right amount. But as for me, sis, that ain't the case. So I ended up going and mixing an additional ounce, splitting that ounce up into the green and the clear, and I added that back into the molds just to, fill her up nice. So now we are getting to the part where I am adding a cricket cutout. Pardon me, I need to piece my words together. So now I'm getting to the point where it's time for me to add the phrase that I'm putting on this book. I like to do phrases on my books. People love them. This person loved this phrase and they said they want this book just about the same way I made it before. So I tried to keep that. So I went ahead and while this was curing, which this took about 3 hours to cure on this lovely mat, okay? I took the time to go cut it out on my Cricut, and now I am carefully laying the design onto the mold. And so this is hardened enough for me to do this, but it's not hardened enough to use. So don't feel like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get this mat and I skip out on 24 hours. It's like, no, I would say give it time. You know, after the 2 hours, when it's still warm, when the plate is still warm, this stuff is still bendy, okay? It's just that if you touch it, your finger won't sink into it and you won't make a mess. Anyways, I like to dome my pieces afterwards. So it's not that I like to do that. That's what you got to do, okay? Don't feel like this is optional. This is a thing. Doming is necessary, okay? Doming is necessary. Don't forget to dome. I appreciate you sitting here and watching this video. I put a lot of work and effort into my stuff, and so I really appreciate if you took the time to watch this. Please don't forget to subscribe and like this video. And, comment, tell me how you feel about what I did. Tell me what you don't like. Tell me if you need help with something or, just comment. Speak your mind in the comments. I'm very friendly and I'm very open to these things. So, yes, it was great. Great being here today, honey bunny. And I will see you later.